Welcome back to Spies and Sabotage for our North American Upper Finals. This is going to be the match between Jakiros' Third Head and Goose Gang. Two teams that kind of dominantly won their first matches. And if I recall correctly, and Faf, correct me if I'm wrong here, it seems as though they won their matches because they didn't seem to pay too much attention to their contracts. They just played some Dota, and they won some Dota. And they are thus in the upper bracket.
Yeah, the simplicity is what makes it work.
So, but we are playing Spies and Sabotage. We are not playing regular Dota. There are some additional elements, and let's see what those are going to be. So, for our two randomly rolled rules that apply to both teams, our first will be ability restriction. No hero may use their first ability. There's some complicated nuances here, and
Wow.
we'll get into them as they arise. In general, can't skill your first ability, especially if it's a passive. We will we address edge cases as they arise, but in general, your Q or your first ability, whatever it's bound to, can't use it. Second random rule for this match is going to be Brawlhalla. We've seen this one a lot. Can lead to some interesting swings in the match, but it guarantees that 5 people end up dead shortly after 10 minutes, at the very least. So those are the two rules in play. No Q, and a Roche fight at 10 minutes into the game. Total 5v5, total team wipe. Now let's see what sabotages are available to complement those rules. For our Tier 1 sabotage, we have Mortal Enemy. The team that purchases the sabotage may select one enemy hero who will be unable to pick up Aegis for the whole match. The Tier 2 sabotage, Lane Reveal. During the pick phase, every hero chosen by the enemy team must be announced. The position, their intended position, must be announced. Our Tier 3 sabotage is Honesty. If you ask an enemy if they have buyback, they must answer honestly. They have to tell you whether they have buyback, and it has to be correct. And our fourth and final sabotage at Tier 4 is going to be no posts. The enemy team cannot recapture outposts. Once you lose your outpost, it is gone. We actually already have the selected sabotages, so let's go ahead and let's see what those are going to be. So, the Dire team of Goose Gang the Dire team of Goose Gang opted to only purchase the Tier 1 Sabotage Mortal Enemy. The Radiant team, Jakiros' Third Head, opted to purchase every available Sabotage. So, let's see going forward what the let's see what the contracts are. This is how these teams will gain more spies, which is going to be extremely useful for the winning team as they head into the interregional finals tomorrow, and also extremely useful for the losing team as shortly after this match they fight for their tournament lives in the lower bracket finals. Radiant selected 4 contracts, starting off with pretty basic ones that we see all the time. 3K behavior score. Every time someone on your team dies, they have to all chat flaming their own team for their death. And 11K behavior score. Sort of the counterpart to this contract. Anytime your team dies, anytime someone on your team dies, they must all chat complimenting the enemy team for their spectacular play. They also picked up 2 additional contracts. Those are going to be Neutral Stash. Once all Tier 1 neutrals are obtained, you must place them in the Roche Pit as a tribute to the enemy team, announcing in all chat that they have been made available and let them come take them. The final contract that Radiant has picked up is Next Level Bait. The hero with the highest cooldown ultimate must waste it on an enemy creep wave. So that is the Radiant selection of contracts. Let's see what the Dire chose. They started off with 11k behavior score as well. It really just would not be a Spies and Sabotage match if we did not have a bunch of ridiculous all chat. Dire also selected two other pretty common contracts, trying to clear those up. They selected Counter-Strike, the Iron Branch planting Counter-Strike simulator contract that we have loads and loads of fun with. And they also selected Walk into Mordor. Get a walking courier to the outer wall of the enemy base and get it back alive. I think one team completed this. We've had probably half a dozen teams attempt it. One has completed it. I think it was in SEA. I'm not 100% sure. We might have a 0% success rate, but I think it was one. So that is all of the contracts. Let's see how they all stack up together. So Sabotages wise, Mortal Enemy applied to both teams, so they both get to pick a hero who can't pick up Aegis. But Lane Reveal, Honesty, and No Posts are only affecting the Dire. So the Dire have a lot of additional challenges placed on them this match that the Radiant will not have to deal with. But both teams have to deal with no Q and no Brawlhalla. Salt and Snow. Give me your thoughts on how this all pans out, how this will affect the match. Let's talk about this for a minute or two before we jump into our draft.
We just see Radiant's not really scared to just let it all out on the contracts. The only thing that I have to say is really on the Sabotages, my bad, is when it comes to contracts, we've seen a lot of teams that are taking the 11k behavior score, 3k behavior score ones, and they are just failing the challenges because even though people have been doing a lot of all chatting, they are not doing consistently when they're required to, and so nobody's really finished these challenges, even though they seem at first glance to be like the easiest ones. So my prediction would be that they're not going to finish those.
Yeah, our Grand Commissioner Garlic decides when the all chats have dipped below the quality requirement. Give the teams a warning, and if they don't get their all chats up to snuff, they fail the contract. So I don't know if we have any other notes to make other than we have some pretty basic contracts. Nothing new here. I don't think we've seen Next Level Bait actually executed. I'm hoping they pick Enigma. I've always wanted to see an Enigma black hole right onto a creep wave completely wasted. I think that'd be hilarious. But yeah, honestly, I think the best course of action is to just jump into the game and see how this pans out. So I hope you all enjoy this upper bracket finals match casted by Salt and Snow. Take it away.
Okay, we've already gotten first bands. Our first bands done. First picks have just come out. We have Shadow Shaman for Jakiros third head and the first phase Phantom Lancer from Goose Gang. Not sure how I feel about that. But what I am sure about how I feel is the banner for Jakiros third head. Definitely the best banner I've seen all day. What do you think, Snow?
Is it Dire's Sabotage? It's a Radiant made a Sabotage, so the Dire heroes cannot use Q, right?
Yes. No, that's just a rule. Nobody
it's a
can use
rule.
Q. All heroes.
No. Oh, okay. That's in that case.
But
yeah, you probably
they
don't want
do have to announce where this PL is going, which I don't think they've done.
I think they can announce anytime, right before the game starts, or they have to announce it at the same time when the hero is picked.
10 seconds remain. 5 seconds remain.
So yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with this first pick PL. They respond with the Earthshaker. Maybe their plan all along was just to bait an Earthshaker pick because Earthshaker without Fissure seems pretty underwhelming. The same way, Coddle is just really strange. Keeper of the Light without Illuminate, I feel like that's like, isn't that
usually in
what
most
this hero is
cases?
built around?
Coddle don't use Illuminate as Q because in most cases people use like the AoE damage ability to shove lane to cleave your +1. So in most cases, Coddle usually level
Yeah, but
WNE.
looking past laning stage, like yeah, sure, maybe laning
Like,
stage
on-
you're not going
on-
to be using it.
On top
but
of that, nobody can use their first spell, so
well, yeah, that's my point. Like not having the access to eliminate on Coddle like ruins the hero. I like even just if you look past the laning stage, Illuminate is a bunch of damage in team fights, really good with his ultimate. It allows you to shove waves on a hero on just a position 5. It's great high ground defense. I feel like a lot of this hero is really lost with Illuminate. I think people undervalue the importance of Illuminate in there. But getting into the second round bans, we have Ursa banned by Radiant. We have Centaur banned by the Dire.
actually,
I don't know.
I'm not sure about Ursa ban. Like Ursa
Yeah.
without Q is like pretty useless hero.
Yeah, I also agree. But the more like obvious thing is they have their PL. They already picked their safe lane. Why would
Right.
they pick an Ursa?
Well, PL could go mid. There's
No,
few games
he
that PL
can't
could.
because they're required to announce where they're laning, and they have already announced that safe lane is where PL's going.
All right, I'm not seeing.
It's the bottom right corner. You can open
see
the
it.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see a Marana ban, which is also just not really like it's just strange because we already really have supports for Radiant unless they pull some weird like Earthshaker 3. Maybe that's you might be able to make Earthshaker 3 work because you don't have Fisher. So you're gonna be putting like all your points into Enchant Totem, right? You might as well
Right.
go with like core Earthshaker.
With Shadow Shaman, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
I have a feeling
okay.
this shaman is probably 4. So I worked with Jakiros third head, helping them before the tournament in preparation for this. I coached a few of their scrims and gave them some analysis afterwards. And from what I remember, I don't think I'm pretty sure this is a peachy hero for Shadow Shaman. And wait, he's been there 5, so it might be it's probably a 5 Shadow Shaman. I don't think Bloomer plays this.
I don't think Shadow Shaman is a very good pick because Shadow Shaman, it's only you need is that the stun and hex. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
I think Aether Shock is like, or Ether Shock, however you pronounce
It
it.
does be-
That's pretty needed for laning stage. But when most heroes don't have their nukes, it's probably fine.
Mhm.
Terrorblade ban. Terrorblade's also one of those people that without Q, he's pretty good still. You don't really need reflection. Rubik. Getting rid of
I
lift.
think
I like it.
it's okay.
But that means they're going for a Rubik 5.
The
since
thing
they
is that-
already went Cuddle 4.
Earthshaker's hardest punish is Lubick, but since nobody can use the first spell, I'm not sure what they're. Okay, so it's a Lich Pulse 5 Shaman 4 with a Shaker, I think.
It is going to be a Shaker 3. And I do
Yeah.
like this just because Qs don't exist.
Right.
I think just because Qs don't exist, we're going to probably see Wiz play this. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be great. Enchant Totem like does so much damage. It's going to be so effective against this PL and laning stage. And not to mention, you just get this early blink timing. Like I think this first pick PL was a huge mistake.
Oh, yes. For Tidehunter, like Tidehunter without his first spell is quite bad because his first spell slows people so you can keep attacking.
Yeah, it's also what enables him to Roche. You have the minus armor for Roche. Right now, Dire can't really take Roche. They can't really push buildings. They have really good like anti-push and like counter initiation, but they are lacking the sort of push ability. Like Radiant has this Earthshaker Enchant Totem does a ton to buildings in a very short amount of time. You have the Serpent Wards from Shadow Shaman. You now have a Weaver pick who's probably going to go Deso. Like Weaver lanes well against a Tidehunter. I don't see this Tidehunter being able to do anything against this Weaver. All you're missing is the bugs, which really like.
I think it does a lot.
The
Because
bugs do a lot, especially against Roche. But like, do you really need it? I'm pretty sure you
Probably
can work without it.
Yeah. Also, whoever I think Shaker against PL, since PL's can use first spell, I'm not sure how he's going to trade.
yeah, PL's not going to be able to use his nuke. He's also not going to have his slow, right? Rubik's not going to have a stun. Right now from Goose Gang, you have 0 stuns. So like TPs are just going to be
Goose
really
Gang has like
effective.
Tidehunter ult. That's quite
But you can't count the ultimate as a stun. Like I'm talking
No,
like in
right.
laning stage, they have really no kill threat so far.
Oh, they have
They
0
have-
stun at all.
Yeah, they have very weak lanes, no stun besides Ravage and I guess Will-O-Wisp. And honestly,
those
I
are
don't even
two
like how
big-
Ravage and
yeah.
Will-O-Wisp combo. They kind of accomplish the same thing.
Right.
We see a Wind Ranger ban.
Maybe people don't want to pick Windanger. Maybe.
It's just killing my dreams of not seeing the Arcane. I want to see
Yeah.
it. I'm getting ready to play it after this game. I mean, watch the losers finals because yeah.
That's kind of sad to see Arcana go. I kind of wanted to see Windanger Arcana this game, but the thing is, like, why do you pick Windanger if she can use Shackle Shot?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
you can just leave it open.
focus fire, wind run. Let's be
Yeah,
honest,
but
that's all you
Shackle-
need.
Well, Shackle
especially
Shot does
when-
a lot.
Especially when, well, I guess they're banning it for Dire. I think it would be a better pick for Radiant because like Dire lacks the lockdown. So you know you have this here. Like I just think this Weaver is going to take over the game. They need some answer to this, and I don't know if they're going to find it in this last pick.
It's a great BKB game for Weaver, I would say. Most Weavers go for
Even
Lincoln,
so,
but
you don't really need a BKB. Like there's nothing that you have to worry about. Like they'll throw down the Illuminate, you just Sakuchi and run away. They Ravage, you Sakuchi and run away. I don't think there's ever a time where you're really scared.
Actually, you're right, because they cannot really stun lock you.
Yeah. So we see the TA ban from Radiant. I guess they're fearing the Liquid TI9 strat, TA Tidehunter.
Yes, but TA with a deflection, like, why would you play it?
Yeah, that's also true. I don't know. There's just some weird bans. I don't know
Right.
if people are focusing too much on the no Q. Same with Necro. Why would you play Necro without Death Pulse?
Right.
Maybe I'm missing something. But let's see. Last bans or last picks.
It's possible, but they're kind of not thinking.
Shadow Fiend.
Uh,
I did see this being
Wait,
talked
Shadow-
about.
Actually,
just-
like, for Shadowfiend, you can use like medium and large blades. So
Yeah.
that's actually
mean-
that's actually okay. In most cases, Shadowfiend can't hit that close range.
So here's the thing. I guess the way the challenge is worded, it's no Q, so no like short raise. But the intention of the thing was no first ability. So really, raise is all one ability, all 3 raises. So if you ask me, I mean, this should have been specified before. And if you ask me, I don't think you should be able to use raise at all. But I think, and I mean, we can check admins on this. I think that it's going to be allowed to use medium and long range, just because that wasn't specified.
also, Alchemist before level
Alchemist
6
without
without
acid spray.
acid spray. That's gonna slow down his farm a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna really not have farm on it.
Right. Like even their support, usually the support stacks for Alchemist, but in this case, Alchemist can't clear it much.
And I was actually wrong. It is a Bloomer Shadow Shaman. So we're looking like a 4 Shadow Shaman. It will be the Shaman Shaker lane that you talked about. Looks like we have a disconnect. It's the tactical disconnect, just to strategize. Let's hope, at least, or not hope, but let's hope it's not some. Oh, they're back. Never mind.
Actually, what's the penalty for like using first spell? Because I'm pretty sure some fuck finger presses the first spell during a team fight.
I mean, in reality, like, if the players really want to make sure they don't, they can just unbind it. Just get rid of that muscle memory. But
That
I
is
have no
right.
idea what the penalty will be. I don't think we've seen someone break it yet. So
I'm pretty sure they could probably pause for a bit and just unbind hit their first ability.
maybe, I don't know. It's not going to be enforced like that. So let's see what's happening. Also, I have never seen cats play Shadow Fiend, so we're in for a treat here.
I actually played the cats in 1v1 as Shadow Fiend matchup, she was actually pretty decent.
Okay, Snow, you want to give us a rundown on who's playing what here?
Okay, sure. So Chaos playing from a Radiant, Jakiros third head, Chaos is playing Shadow Fiend, Wiz is playing Earthshaker, Cement's playing Weaver, Peachy playing Lich, and Bloomer playing Shadow Shaman. In this game, we probably will look at the Blink from Wiz or Shaker, so they can probably lock down other team's carries. From the Die team, Davi on PL, he had the great Show World game last time, and Cookie No Good on Alchemist, and Miriam Weavster on Lubick, Kira on Koro, and a new name on Tidehunter. For what do you think about the laning phase? I think mid is against Alchemist. I'm pretty sure Shadow Fiend is kind of favored against Alchemist. Because if Alchemist cannot level their first ability, they usually go level E first. Sometimes Alchemists try to get cute so they can secure creeps, but in this case, Alchemist should go for E. Which means that Shadow Fiend has like quite kill potential.
Yeah. Did we see who they selected for Mortal Enemy for who cannot pick Aegis?
Weaver may not pick up.
Okay, it is Weaver.
Yes.
Oh, we just saw that. No, I'm like blind. My bad. Yeah, I think this mid lane is going to be a really interesting one. I think Shadow Fiend is pretty much like a complete hero even without the short range raise. You're not going to see like the triple raise pressure, but there is, if you time it correctly, you can keep stacking medium and long range raise, and that could actually be quite deadly.
And from the Radiant side, Alchemist cannot pick Aegis.
Oh, okay.
So Weaver on the Radiant and Alchemist on Dire.
Okay. Yeah, I think PL's a better Aegis carrier anyways, so... See PL going for Doppelganger level 1, Fade Bolt. Yeah, early game Rubik probably going to be the same. Blinding Light Coddle. Honestly, I'm not a fan of having no Gush on Tidehunter. We talked about that during draft. Let's see, nothing's sealed on Shaman yet. Nothing's sealed on Weaver.
Also
Nothing's sealed on Lich.
for Dire, they cannot capture Outpost. So I kind of feel like they should just group up and try to take tower before PL and Alk goes online, because Alk without Q farms quite slow.
Yeah.
Like if they could team up and get those towers, by let's say by before 20 minutes, that's like extra EXP for them for next 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
10
The
20
thing
minutes.
I also love about Radiant's draft is just that they have they just have a good Roche lineup. I believe that last time they had a good Roche lineup as well. And like it's just or no, it wasn't this team. It was the last game we casted, but it was the Dire team on the last game we casted. But it's just a good Roche lineup. They have Enchant Totem, they have Presence Aura for the minus armor. They're probably going to go Deso on this Weaver. They just take it really fast. And so I want to see some just
if you
high
look
tempo.
at the boss side, there's a courier running it down.
Yeah, and it looks like the courier's been spotted and it's being pinged out. I guess this is the walk to Mordor, or
Yeah, I think
walk
it is.
into Mordor. Now they're gonna chase. Shadowfield's gonna end up chasing this courier, and they're gonna maybe lose bounties off of this. And like giving away bounties to an alchemist is no good. But it does look like Weaver
They
ends up
capture-
stealing it. It goes
Wow.
3 to Radiant and 1 to Dire. Yeah, the early loss on Alchemist kind of sucks. Let's see if Shadow Shaman snipes this courier. They are gonna find it. That damage. One-shotting the courier.
Right, Shadow Shaman has like one of the highest base damage.
Yeah.
Level 1.
Back in mid lane, both players placing their wards in the same spot. well, you know, opposite of each other.
I want Cats to go more aggro in the mid lane because like Alchemist level 1 is very weak.
The play with Shadow Fiend is you just want to make sure nothing gets denied in the first wave. Then you get the level 2, then you start building souls up, which is exactly what she did. And now she can start building up the damage and putting the pressure on Alchemist. A little bit of whiffed raises. But I think Weaver will be doing fine down here. He seems to be CSing just fine. Bloomer a little bit out of position, but I just don't think Dire has the lanes to kill people. Coddle Tidehunter, very weak lane from what I can tell, especially with no Qs. Same thing with PL and Rubik. It just doesn't seem like they have good kill threat. Whereas all 3 lanes on Radiant's side, I feel like have a solid chance of killing the enemies. As I say that, they're going on to Tide. I don't think they can get this, but they're gonna try.
On
Constant right clicks, that 77 damage right click from Shadow Shaman. We have Tide Courier looking to do the... I guess they're gonna try and sneak the walk into Mordor again. Tide's Courier is going on a trek here. Now it's stopped. Now it's going again.
top lane, pulling creeps to the big camp. That's something I don't see in my legend bracket.
Yeah, well, ask for it. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, side pull always good in the off lane. It allows you to get a lot of lane control. Basically force the enemies to pull in reaction. You just get this farm under tower. Wiz just gonna get a bunch farm here. Let me pull up the last hits. I didn't have those open. Alchemist and PL actually top of the last hits. That's not looking good for Radiant. I honestly wouldn't expect that to be the case. Alchemist without his acid spray. Although Shadow Fiend is building up the souls, in which case they're gonna just get to a point where they can pretty much deny every... What was that race?
The top lane is going quite
Top
okay.
lane, Wiz just putting a lot of damage into this PL. Wow. And they're just constantly refreshing the mana on this Tidehunter to keep Anchor Smash up. I guess that is a pretty good combo. But still, it's like, I don't think they're going to be able to close any kills, even if they get to the point where they harass.
Oh,
Bot lane, Weaver going on the Coddle.
Oh!
And they get the kill.
And the Coddle use a Sog.
Oh, that's actually huge.
That's like one Tangle shifted to Radiant. That's huge.
First blood going the way of Jakiro's third head.
And Tidehunter completed, so the walk into Motor.
Nice. See, that's Phase Boots almost coming out for Alchemist. Alchemist still top CS. PL right behind him. Shadow Fiend will start pulling ahead, I think, now that she...
Actually, if you think about it, Shadow Fiend without the close raise against Alchemist is quite bad. Like, because like usually I don't think Shadow Fiend can kill Alch.
Well,
that easy.
I mean, she has a haste rune. This might be a kill on Alchemist right here. If they pop the haste rune, go hit him with the 2 raises, I think it's enough. Charging up the stun on Alchemist. There's 1 raise, haste rune, run at him. Oh, too scared.
And Alchemist got the raindrops. That's very smart.
Let's see, bottom Coddle gonna grab bounty runes. Top lane going on to the Lich. Earthshaker also quite low, and there was a kill mid. That haste rune coming into play. Alchemist just dying. Now, what do you think about
top lane?
Top lane also getting a kill. Wow.
Just enchant totem. That's so much.
Yeah. What I was gonna ask is, what do you think about Shadow Fiend getting ultimate at level 6? We don't see this very often.
I don't think Sharafin should go all double six this game. She could probably just keep like a Necro and keep the Link of Blades, in which she did.
Was gonna fall, but traded for the Phantom Lancer, so probably a good trade.
I don't think Shadowfiend has like enough nuke to be able to kill Alchemist even with ult.
Yeah, especially getting ultimate with only 2 points in the Necromastery. See an Invis rune top. Alchemist just gonna keep farming these side camps. Makes it a lot harder to take these side camps when you don't have acid spray, and I think this Alchemist is starting to feel that.
Bot lane, Tidehunter's going down.
Bot lane, they're going on Tide. Sakuchi up in 1. And this should secure the kill. I think this is dead Tide. Oh. There it goes. Okay, it looks like we're just going for treads on Weaver. Blightstone as well, probably into Deso eventually. Pretty passive game so far. Yeah, there's been a few kills, but I think this game will start to wind up pretty crazily when Shaker hits 6 or gets the blink.
The top
Shadow
lane.
Fiend gets an item. Top lane, Peel just gonna die! Wiz just runs him down! Wow. I like this play from the Shadow Fiend. Getting another Observer. And let's see where they place it. It looks like they want to go for this cliff. Nice.
Also,
Yeah,
as you can. Yep.
I was saying I don't see, you know, these mid laners. They buy the ward at the start of the game, but they haven't really been refreshing them for the runes. So like this rune top still has not been taken.
As you can tell from Alchemist farming in jungle, he's farming very slow without his first spell.
Yeah, when he's second highest for the CS, he's the highest net worth, but this Alchemist or this Shadow Fiend is keeping up, which isn't usual for an Alchemist, especially when they hit their ultimate. Royal Jelly coming out for Shadow Fiend. Is this the team that's going for the giving the enemies the tier 1 neutrals, or is...
I think we don't have that this game. I don't quite remember.
Okay, I might be wrong.
On top lane, Lubick falls with Whiffed Echo Stun. Also bot lane, they're trying to kill Tidehunter, but his W dispelled stun. But he might still go down.
Oh, the Blinding Light will come out and he's probably safe. But has to go back to base. This Tide's honestly not having that great of a time here. Alchemist, once again, still suffering. He's just not getting this lead that we see Alchemist get, and that's just mostly because of the lack of the Q.
Yeah, Tidehunter against Weaver is quite bad for Tidehunter. In most cases, in melee versus ranged, it's quite hard to play against.
Yeah, and it looks like Echo Slam was committed top.
Yes.
They did not kill the PL though, but he is forced to jungle. He is just jungling now.
Shaker actually used Echo to kill Lubick in
Oh, okay.
like a minute ago,
Yeah.
but he whiffed it, so
But
actually,
yeah,
I think he still did damage.
having 2 cores in the jungle at this point, it's just, you know,
Can't tell us
not
how.
a-
10 minutes
not
bounty is
ideal.
coming up.
what did we steal?
Lubick's
Frost
Frost Shield. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend with the Arcane Rune. I want to see what Shadow Fiend's going for here. If they're gonna... Oh,
Right,
the 10-minute fight! I forgot about the 10-minute fight! We don't have Echo Slam's on cooldown! I think this is a huge lost opportunity from Wiz. But we do have the ultimate on Shadow Fiend. Oh, the Ravage? Ravage? They don't get the Ravage off! The Chain Frost! Chain Frost bouncing between the Tide and the Rubik. Rubik gonna fall. Tide gonna fall. Here comes PL, but it's way too late. They're just gonna right-click him down. Where's the rest of the team? They're just sitting back. Coddle's gonna walk in, get destroyed by the Enchant Totem, and Alchemist is the last one left. He's just gonna fall as well. Whiff on the raise, but he'll fall soon. That was a 5-for-1 for Radiant, even without the Echo Slam. Came off cooldown right at the end of that fight. That was it's a good fight. Yeah, they didn't have the ultimate on Coddle, and what else? I mean, the PL just didn't have anything to contribute to the fight. The Tide, he had Ravage, but it was just way too late. They got the Requiem off first.
I think Cats needs to do what's the thing called?
You
Like no. You have to place something to go where you're looking at instead of like going around.
What?
Like that's something you use on the Slarks. W. I forgot.
Directional movement?
Yes, directional movement. I see Cats going raising nowhere. So
Yeah,
I
it's quite a lot of whiffed raises. Oh, so it looks like Rubik has actually leveled his Q, which you're not supposed to use. So it's not necessarily bad that he leveled it. You just cannot use it. Okay, and he removed the hockey. So
I think there was a pause in the games. And the bot went down.
kill the Shadow Shaman.
It's a good rotation.
Weaver
from
just
Rubik.
hovering around this Tide. I don't know if he wants to stay here.
Weaver-
There's a Rubik well, Rubik walked away some.
Weaver doesn't have time lapse. It's very.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily risk dying to this Tide until Tide has Ravage up, but he just, buys enough time, denies the tower, and...
Also, Alchemist has actually pretty okay Radiance timing.
Where is...
Considering he couldn't double first spell.
Yeah. If you look at net worth, though, like, Shadow Fiend is 200 net worth behind this Alchemist. That is not common. And so, this Shadow Fiend's having a great game. I want to see Blink Dagger first item. I don't like this. Normally you'll see this
Probably-
after a Yule's, but,
Yes.
like, you just don't have any setup with just a Blink. You're gonna blink in, get stunned, and, like... Well, I mean, we did talk about the lack of stuns. I guess the Alchemist is the only one with the stun. But, like, there's no way to really get this off. Smoke up. Going for the PL top, I guess. Echo Slam is available. Trying to juke with the other illusion. They echo the illusion! They chain frost the illusion, and PL walks away. Requiem on the illusion as well. PL just walks away. They might still catch him, though. Wrapping around.
Lubik.
He goes to low ground. He goes to low ground.
That's a
Shadow Fiend, a
space.
blink from Shadow Fiend. Yeah, this is huge. They blew 3 ultimates on an illusion. I don't think they're gonna catch him. Oh, never mind. Weaver on top of him. They have no lockdown though. Back up to high ground. And the TP. Sinister Gaze.
Oh.
Catches him. The Enchant Totem. Stolen Sinister Gaze. Are they gonna get the Rubik for this too? They might get the Rubik for this too. Blink up in 8 from Shadow Fiend. Blink up in 7 for the Shaker. Shaker's just gonna run him down. Enchant Totem, huge hit. But this is a lot of time that they're just committing to these kills. That was like a whole minute just for 2 kills.
Actually,
Pretty insane.
if you think about it, it can transfer to tier 2 top. If they get this, and they can capture Outpost, and like
Yeah.
Dires is never going to be able to capture it.
Tide TPing top. He has no mana though. No Ravage available. He's gonna take a lot of damage from
Oh,
these
so
wards. I'd like to see
actually-
the wards just hit the tower.
So actually, they have a thing. They have to give a new level or tier 1 to the enemy team. So we had that.
Oh, and who was that? What team was that for? That was Radiant. Radiant gives all their tier 1s. Okay. And have they done that yet?
And Alchemist
have not.
has Radiance now. So, considering it's actually a pretty good timing.
Yeah, but he did build no like items. I guess if you don't have Q, you don't need a soul ring because you're not really worried about your
Yes.
mana usage. Alchemist also leveled Acid Spray, I guess just out of habit. If he uses that, we'll have to make note of that. But he's just
Well,
gonna
he-
farm up with this Radiance.
He has a Radiance
Yes.
now, so he doesn't need Acid Spray.
And he's farming the enemy jungle. I like this play. We don't see a lot of people venture off into the enemy jungle to farm their side of the map, but for this tier 1 dead for Radiant, it just makes it available. Now it seems like they're giving the neutral items over. 2 have been dropped so
Weaver
far.
tried to go for tier 2 top. That's turned out okay. He used a
Weaver
time
almost
lapse.
died from that. The Deso done, gonna be flying out on Courier.
They're trying to put tier 1 in the Lush pit.
Yule's almost gonna come out for Shadow Fiend. Alchemist pulling quite a bit ahead now. He's 17 or 1600 gold ahead of the next person.
Okay, they put the tier 1 neutral in the Lush pit. But
And
it's a
do we
contract
see
company, I
the...
think.
Well, they have to announce it,
Oh, okay.
I believe. Alchemist just farming away, going for the Basher second item. I'm not sure that I like this. Yeah, they lack stuns, but it just doesn't really give you anything that you need. Like, you need to tank up, and you need to do damage. Like, Basher is just it's a good like third or fourth item, but
Oh, in the mid lane?
AC, BKB, Halberd, any of those
Wow.
items would be a lot better. Halberd against Shadow Fiend is insanely good because he's ranged hero.
But this Shaker is enchant totem, like he almost like one-shot Kotal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a meme build from Shadow or Earthshaker to go for a Chrysalis, but I want to see it. And he commits the Echo Slam on the wave, and that's next level bait done. And then they're gonna push the mid tower still. Tide TPing in, but they spot the TP. They're gonna back out, and they're just gonna be fine. No blink yet on Tidehunter. And they're gonna go on the Tidehunter now. Enchant Totem, Ravage to use
Ravage.
defensively, and he's gonna make it out. See, but they just committed a 150-second ultimate from Dire, whereas we used a 5-second ultimate on Radiant. Not a good trade, if you ask me. Tide's still
Is-
playing super aggressive here.
Is Alchemist going Basher first?
Yeah, I did mention that. I was saying
Yeah.
I think he should go AC, BKB, Halberd, one of those items. Basher just seems really like underwhelming. I don't because the reality is you're gonna finish this Basher and you're still not gonna want to join fights. And so I don't know. It's just a little weird.
Yule is completed on Shadow Fiend.
This PL is super behind. One of the downsides of first picking a PL, you're just gonna get countered, and we've seen that this game. This PL has basically no game. He's not even close to this Diffusal Blade yet, and it's 19 minutes into the game. Pretty much this whole game's riding on Alchemist, and maybe that's why he's going for the Basher. Maybe he plans on fighting early, and
And smoke is coming from
Yeah.
Radiant side towards Alchemist.
you're gonna shut down the one guy who matters. Let's see, smoke breaks from Wiz. Gonna walk up, see the Alchemist. Blink canceled. Yules, where's the Requiem? Oh boy, stun on 3. The concoction comes the shackles. I think an easy kill. Yeah, Cats with the whiffed raises all game. The long range raise when he's standing in shackle. I don't quite understand that, but yeah, Alchemist falling. He dies for 350 gold. Not that much, but anytime an Alchemist is dead is a time Alchemist is not farming. So I'd like to see this, transition into some objective. Roche could be coming out if Weaver were to join top with the push. They could maybe use the Deso, get the tower.
I'm really hoping they take the tier 2 tower so they can take Outpost.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Especially because with the Sabotage towards Dire can't reclaim the outposts.
On the bot lane is Lubic and Tidehunter against Shaker.
I think Shaker will be fine here. He has the Force Staff. And he is going for the crit, which I talked about. One thing I did want to bring up is before the game we casted, the team went for
And
the Honesty. Oh, go on to Rubik. Enchant Totem, Echo Slam out. The Chain Frost bouncing. Goes to the neutrals though. Ravage comes out. Gets a kill. He might get 2. No. Meanwhile, PL dies to the Shadow Fiend and the Weaver. Weaver's gonna die for the Tide. Blink from the Shadow Fiend. Raise. A few more hits and they might get the kill. They are gonna die for it. Cement going deep. And he gets the kill.
He has Imp Glow. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. But what I was talking about is the honesty sabotage. If you ask an enemy team, or if you ask an enemy if they have buyback, they must always answer honestly. The last time we saw the sabotage, they never asked about buyback, and so far this game, that's never been a concern yet. Maybe they don't need to ask yet, but you know, because buybacks at this point aren't really going to be used. But if you want my prediction, I don't think it's going to be used at all this game, and 3 spies just for that sabotage just seems to not be worth it.
So Abyssal is completed on Alchemist. But
Okay.
without BKB...
Oh, he is going to go on the Lich, stun on the Lich, and easy kill. That was 400 gold for that Lich. Wow. Bounty rune.
I'm really hoping Radiant team just try to punish this. Like, if they can CC Chain Alchemist, he's very squishy now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've seen Shadow Fiend really fall off farm-wise. Oh, Shadow Fiend going to walk up to this Alchemist. Yules into the Requiem. And they miss the Requiem combo. And they miss the raise. I think Alchemist could have just turned there. There's no one around. He can just turn on this. They're going to chase. TPN from the Tidehunter. That is a huge expended ultimate for Radiant. And, you know, like I said, I think that's a lack of experience on Shadow Fiend. I haven't seen Cats play Shadow Fiend. And
She only played...
I think
I'm
that's
pretty sure
showing.
she only played the 1v1. She might have played a couple of normal games, but...
Meanwhile, PL is recovering. Yeah, it's a 22-minute defusal, but he's still recovering. A bomb was apparently planted.
In the bottom side.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Actually,
I don't think
Lubic,
I've seen that spot yet.
Lubic actually smoked to plant it there. So that was actually
Interesting.
next level.
Yeah.
If you look at the net worth, Alchemist is doing Alchemist thing, but...
Yeah, Alchemist is pulling way ahead. Radiant had a very strong like early game timing, but I think they just kind of threw it away. They didn't pressure the advantage, and you know this is just something that you learn with more experience in Dota, and it's just been common in this tournament. Just teams being ahead and not really taking advantage of that lead they have.
Also,
We have
you said
you go ahead.
AC on Alchemist, but Alchemist pretty much dealing with magic damage. Lich Shaker, Shadow Fiend. I think he probably should have gone for BKB first instead of AC.
Yeah, maybe. I do like if Halberd as well, BKB, right? I think the AC is just for the attack speed on the team. It just, yeah, like you have a lot of magic damage, but you also have minus armor.
Mid?
Echo Slam on mid lane. Will-O-Wisp was dropped for the counter initiation. Are they going to chase onto the Coddle? Blinding Light away. Requiem onto 2. Chain Frost bouncing. Weaver's going to get the PL. And the Rubik's going to be cleaned up. And meanwhile, Wiz going to catch the Coddle on the retreat. 3 dead for Dire. And Radiant are just going to push this tower. This is the type of stuff I like to see. I want to see a Roche play afterwards or something like that. Tide going to be wrapping in from the top. Glyph comes out. Tide with Blink Ravage. Tide might go in here. Oh no, Tide gets gone on. Tide with the Hex. Tide with the Shackles. Are we going to see a defensive Ravage? Defensive Ravage. They might still be able to catch this. Blink coming off cooldown in 1 second for Earthshaker.
Oh.
But the Blink from Tide gets him away.
Now they have tier 2 towers down. They can capture outposts. So Dire can...
They can capture outpost and Dire cannot take them back.
Also, BKB came from Weaver.
BKB done on Weaver. Yeah, Alchemist almost done with the AC. Alchemist just going to TP out from the Weaver. Yeah, this Alchemist is just making a good effort to farm the entire map. He's really just playing very elusive. And he's just, you know, kind of taking advantage of every bit of farm he can. Soon we're going to see this Alchemist come online, and it's going to be a really big threat that Radiant's going to have to deal with. We'll see how well their team fight holds up if they have enough of the single target damage with the Enchant Totem and the Deso on Weaver. See, Shackles onto the Tide. Meanwhile, Weaver going for the Coddle. One shot away from death, but he stops. They finish off the Tide. Weaver going to go on to PL now. And they're just going to back off.
I'm really hoping
Regroup.
Team Goop and just try to capture top outpost before 30 minutes.
Yeah, Requiem's going to come off cooldown 6 seconds. We have Chain Frost up. Chain Frost now level 2. Serpent Warns in 30 seconds. And Echo Slam in 10. You can see a fight probably going to break out when these ultimates are off cooldown. They're all grouping up bottom. Looks like they want to take that tier 2. Meanwhile, Dire's still in recovery mode. Still just farming away. This PL just gets the Yasha at 26 minutes. Super underfarmed. Meanwhile, Alchemist looking to finish this BKB before he wants to fight. That will come out quickly, but how many more items do you need before this Alchemist is going to actually participate? You know, you're just losing your towers at this point. As they abandon their push bottom, Weaver going to push it solo. Alchemist going to TP in and try and stop that. And top outpost gets taken by Radiant. That can no longer be taken by Dire.
The top bounty is still up.
This PL... Oh no, PL's TPing out. PL will be safe. Come on, Radiant, walk into Roche. Go for Roche. And looks like they're going for it. Presence Aura, Deso. Gonna be an easy Roche. As long as they use Enchant Totem and tank on Shaker. Shaker, where are you going? What are you doing? Shaker with the classic wait outside for when the enemy team comes, but I don't think Dire knows about this. You should just be in there tanking and helping. You don't really have damage. At least throw Frost Shield on whoever is taking damage. You're not gonna be able to. Cat's almost dying to Roche because the rest of the team refuses to walk in. This is something I see a lot of new players do. Is they're not confident in their ability to Roche, and they're also just they don't understand that Roche needs to be done quickly, and so
smoke is coming from Dire side. They want to fight.
Smoke up from Dire side. They're gonna look for the Roche. They're gonna jump the Weaver. Abyssal on the Weaver. Concoction coming out. BKB on Weaver. He's gonna walk away. Will-O-Wisp dropped just for the Shadow Shaman. Ward's gonna come down. Those aren't gonna be affected by Will-O-Wisp. Wiz, meanwhile, killing the Rubik with a crit. Requiem comes out. Blink in from the Shadow Fiend. Gonna go on to the
Ravage came?
Yeah, Ravage from him. Wiz is gonna die before he can use the Echo. Chain Frost coming out, but it's gonna bounce to the creeps. This is almost a team wipe for Radiant. Radiant just got team wiped. They lost 1 on Dire, a 1-for-5 trade. And this is just the strength of Alchemist. They just had some bad, fights, uncoordinated stuff, and now, Dire's just gonna march it down mid.
Now
this will probably be a tier 2.
now. So I think they won't be able to.
Yeah, Alchemist with the BKB on Courier, he didn't even need it for that fight. Shadow Fiend dead for 30 seconds, no buyback, same as Weaver. They can just be taking this mid tier 2. But I guess they don't want it. They're just gonna leave it. Ooh. BKB.
It's something I don't like to see. Like when 3 or 4 enemy team is down, they should probably just take a tier 2 instead of tier 1 top.
Yeah, you're just taking the tier 1 top, giving them Glyph again. Now, Echo Slam wasn't used that fight, so
I think
maybe that fight goes differently if they do.
Shaker got CC'd by, I think stunned by Alchemist, so I think he couldn't use Echo. If Shaker could use Echo with a Lich ult, I think that's probably the fight probably went better.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw Lich use ult in on top of Shaker against them, so Shaker could ult.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like Tide's gonna get going on. He's gonna take so much damage from these 2 heroes.
Tide actually doesn't seem as tanky as he wants because he went for pipe first.
Yeah, he went for pipe to deal with the magic damage. He has half of a Vlad stun. She's just not to finish it.
Alchemist has BKB.
Alchemist jumping immediately onto the supports. They're gonna jump in with Tide. Does Tide have Ravage? No Ravage from Tide. The Echo comes out, but Wiz just falls. This Alchemist is too strong. This Alchemist is just gonna walk down on Cats. Cats gonna be Yulesed up. Chain Frost comes out, bouncing between their team, but it doesn't look like it's going to do all that much damage. And it just completely wasted. Echo Slam and Chain Frost committed in that fight, and nothing done. Cement now just gets caught out. Weaver just falls. Is Lich going to get gone on here too? Abyssal up in 2. They have the concoction. He's invis, no detection. They drop the sentry, they find him. Lich gonna fall as well. This fight has turned around, or this game has turned around so much. This Alchemist just putting the entire team on his back. Dire now up by 14,000 gold. This PL just wasn't needed, and this PL's now in a position where he's even strong, and he's able to take these fights and help in these fights, even though he had the worst early game. This is a first pick Phantom Lancer from Dire. It's just
Many
crazy.
people don't know how to play against Alchemists. Like they need to post 4 and 5 and or mid should coordinate so they could invade GG jungle. Like if Alchemist, if you give
It
space to Alchemist, he's just gonna farm.
it wasn't even it wasn't even contesting his jungle. The Alchemist was just farming their jungle the entire time. Smoke will reveal. They find the PL initiation onto the PL. Enchant Totem comes out, but it barely does any damage. Serpent Wards are dropped and the shackles on the Alchemist, but it's not gonna matter. This Shadow Shaman is just gonna fall. Alchemist with the ultimate pops the BKB. They go on the Weaver. Weaver pops the BKB, breaks his own invis. This might be dangerous. Bashed on the Weaver. Weaver's just gonna get nuked down. No, not using time lapse on Weaver. What is this Weaver doing? And now the Shadow Fiend's just gonna die. Shadow Fiend just gets right clicked down by the Alchemist. These fights are disasters for Radiant side. And they didn't even finish Roche on the Dire. They just baited the Roche play, and now PL just diving in. PL going on the Lich. Lich goes Glimmer. Chant Totem comes out with Shaker. Echo up in 1. Blink on cooldown 4 seconds. This would be a huge Echo, but they'll have no follow-up because the Shadow Fiend's dead. Requiem is not available since he's dead. No buyback 30 seconds. They're going to Glyph. Meanwhile, looks like PL's gonna TP top. They don't even need him for the push. Going onto the Weaver. Stun on the Weaver. Ravage gonna connect. And they're just gonna kill him with the Will-O-Wisp. Echo onto 2, but it's not gonna do any damage. The pipe just blocked it all, and they're just gonna right-click down the Shaker. Sinister Gaze from the Lich coming out. Shackle on the Tide, but it's not gonna do anything either. Hex on the Alchemist. Alchemist just doesn't care. He heals through all of it. He just walks in through the tier 4s. They're just going to keep hitting these buildings. They haven't even had PL this entire time. He TP top.
And I see Alchemist has Shadow Silver Edge in the backpack.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. Why do you need a Silver Edge? Just get the cloak. What? These guys don't do any damage. Okay, he's going to swap it out now. Requiem going to come out. Requiem connects. Shows Chain Frost. Chain Frost bouncing to the creeps. Starts to bounce between the heroes. Gonna hit the Echo Slam. Was that a stolen Echo Slam?
That was it. Stolen Echo Slam.
Stolen Echo Slam. And, I mean, they just can't get a kill now. Dire just took over this game. Just hit this timing and ran with it. This Alchemist. You know, even with the weird order on the items, just... Yeah, he just farmed it up. And it was just come online. There's nothing they can do on Radiant. As I say that, Weaver going on the Alchemist. They're going to have the Sentry. They're going to see him. Alchemist's going to pop the Concoction. And the Abyssal on the Weaver. The Weaver just gets blown up. 6-9 seconds dead. No buyback. Shadow Fiend still buyback. That's team wipe. GG is called. And wow, I've got to say, Cookie No Good. Definitely the MVP of this match. That Alchemist just took over this game. He was uncontested. Jungled the whole map. Took full advantage of that opportunity. And he really just... honestly, 1 versus 5 that game.
Yeah. That's a very impressive alt game. He played very well.
Yeah. So that will mean that our winner side winners are the Goose Gang, and that Jakiros' third head is going to be knocked down to losers bracket, and they will be playing next against, I don't remember.
They will be playing medium bots. Goose Gang advances on to the inter-regional final tomorrow morning, and Jakiro's third head will play medium bots in our final NA match of the night. Final match of the night overall. We're going to take a quick look at the contract status. All 7 contracts in that game were completed. So Goose Gang walking away with +7 spies from contracts. Jakiros third head walking away from +8 spies from contracts. On top of that, they both get an additional +1 spy for completing the match. Fafford, am I missing anything else?
Nope, just keep in mind that Jakiros third head spent 10 spies on sabotages, so they're still coming out negative.
That is true. They walk away +9, but -10, so they're
And
still
they
losing a
lost the
spy.
game. Goose
And they
Gang
lost.
pays 1 spy for a sabotage, wins the game, and goes like +8. Good output for them.
Easiest money of my life.
They just
Alright.
they never used the buyback status one. I'm
never
telling
did.
you, it's not good. Don't take this. If anyone's listening, don't take this for your matches.
Well, maybe our next teams are listening, but we're gonna go to a short break, and then when we come back, it'll be Jakiros third head versus medium bots.
Final match of the night.